Yo guys, welcome back to a brand new video and another episode of my F1 2019 career mode, here today for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, round 4 of season 3. If you guys have missed any of the episodes so far, or even the last 3, or even the latest one, it'll all be linked in the top right hand corner of the screen, and also a link down below in the description. Before we jump into any spoilers into this episode, guys, now for this race we have nice dry conditions, and so far 4 out of 4 in terms of dry sessions and dry race weekends this season, which makes a very good change. And in terms of this weekend, we did have a triple upgrade scheduled with 1 ultimate engine upgrade and 2 minor error ones. Unfortunately, one of the aerodynamic ones did fail, and it was the one that I would have liked to have had in the car, which is for the front downforce, because we've been suffering from understeer a lot lately. But nonetheless, the important one is that the ultimate engine upgrade has arrived, and therefore we overtake Mercedes as a team, and now we're the 6th quickest car, and we're breathing down the neck of McLaren, and we are the biggest upgraded team coming into this race. We make the most progress, and we're going to hopefully add to that in this episode, because obviously we want to try and repurchase that failed upgrade and maybe even add some more to it. So very exciting times, and the investment we made last season really paying off, because we have an ability now to really buy upgrades all the time, just constantly back to back to back, and it's really becoming a big thing now. But you can see currently on the screen, we took part in practice. We had a pretty decent session, I believe scoring 315 points out of a possible 345, which wasn't too bad. And we've done most of the practice programs, and I'm doing 104% AI around here, which is what I ran last season, and it's also the difficulty I ran in the last race at China. So again, just trying to find some consistency there with past seasons and past races. So yeah, we're going to see how we get on. I'm looking forward to it. Baku is a track that I don't mind. I don't necessarily hate the layout. I just dislike the AI around here because they're very strong. Luckily for us, it's the last of the strong tracks for the AI, because we did Bahrain and China, and this is the last one of kind of the trio of death, if you will, and we're then moving to Spain, Monaco, Canada. Good tracks for me and good chances to score some big points. But you can see currently here in Q1 we're on our first lap in the session, and the car felt pretty good. Sector 2 was actually where I was using a lot of my time in this session, and Sector 1 was actually much better than past seasons gone by. We had some ridiculous straight line speed. You can see here we're currently 1.8 down in Sector 2, and the car with the engine upgrade, it felt like a different beast. It was an ultimate engine power upgrade, just power specific. And you can see here we did a purple final sector, finding 0.7 of a second on one of the Red Bulls on the final sector alone. We were so quick on the straight. And even though it was P14 at the time, it was good enough to get us through into Q2. We had a nice buffer and a nice margin to the cars behind. But yeah, the upgrades are working good. And I actually felt like the car actually took a step forward here, like a noticeable step forward in terms of performance. And I really felt confident with the package we had. And even Ricardo was showing good pace as well, so I thought we could challenge it. In Q2 here, you can see we actually go P9 here on our first run, and for the first time this season, we could be on for a possible Q3 appearance here. But we've got one more lap in us, and with a minute to go, we're going to try and go again. And we're on the bubble here because Raikkonen and myself, and also the guys in 11th and 12th, are actually all within the same 10th of a second, so it's very close, and we need to try and step it up. So here you can see,
1 minute remaining, just 1 minute.
Currently about a 10th of a second up as we now go towards turn 3, and this was a big mistake on my lap. I got it too hot on the brakes. We somehow keep it out of the wall. We just brush it on the right hand side, but we do throw away the 10.5 we had in our pocket, plus another 2.5 tenths on top. So we threw away 0.4 of a second, unfortunately, in Sector 1, which was not ideal, and we're going to be up against it on this lap. But I do think we still have enough pace, and there's enough lap time to gain on a second attempt that we can turn it around. So I'm going to keep on and keep pushing on nonetheless as we now go into the thicker Sector 2 now.
Just 30 seconds left in the session.
Through the castle section, carrying the speed, and all about car momentum here, and making sure the setup feels good and the car grips up nicely. You can see here we made up a chunk of time through the castle section, and we're now back underneath our delta and actually improving on our lap time as we now throw the car into the next left hand here, over the curb, brushing the wall again on the right hand side, but we're still improving here, nearly 2 tenths up as we go to the start of Sector 3. Nice grip and nice traction through the last kind of braking section, the last corner where you brake on this track, and now it's flat out to the line, which is where the Ferrari is at its best here. You can see the delta 3 tenths up, give or take. Really good lap here, and session's over, so we need to try and improve. Currently we are still P9, which is good, but we are going to be the first car to cross the line. Everybody else behind us is going to get a chance to improve. As we cross the line, we do improve by around 2.5 tenths, so a decent second lap there. And is it going to be enough for Q3? Yes, it is. And there we go, around a track that I did not expect it. Our first Q3 of the season. Ricardo as well, up in P6. The Ferrari showing positive signs here and really good competitiveness with the upgrades. And like I said before, just a noticeable step forward in this weekend with the upgrades, which is really, really good. But now we're in Q3, and you can see there's 20 seconds to go. This was my one only lap in the session because it was my only set of fresh tyres I had left. My used sets in Q2 were 2 worn, and also I'm going to be starting the race on those, so I can't really use them again. So we've got to just use this one set for this one run and hope it works. But so far, I've absolutely nailed 1, 2 and 3. A little bit of oversteer on the exit of 3, but still not too much time lost. And we actually get a fantastic exit out of turn 4. And sector 1 is actually pretty damn good. Only 4 tenths down on Sebastian Vettel. Normally about 8 tenths down to a second in sector 1. So that's a very rare, good first sector from us. Not because I made mistakes before, but because we just seemed to hook it all up perfectly. It was absolutely spot on. Still to this point, a really strong lap as we throw the car into the castle section. Not quite 100% spot on here. A couple of missed apexes. I could have definitely attacked some corners a bit more, but still a really good middle sector and a good lap so far. And if we hold on to this could be a very strong lap for us as we now go down the hill to the left hand here, trying to go over the curb. We just about keep it within track limits with a lockup as well. And now down the hill towards the last break zone on the circuit, and we're a second off Sergio Perez, who now sets the pace. So 1 second after 2 sectors is actually pretty damn good for me, and we know we're strong in this final sector. So it's all about keeping it flat out to the line, flooring it, using the overtake ERS now before the DRS comes available, because we don't need the overtake when DRS is available. We needed it before to really maximise the top end speed. We're now going to keep the car to the left hand side for the shortest run to the line. Do we set a decent benchmark? Yes, we do. And I was very, very happy with that lap. No mistakes really, just a couple of missed apexes in sector 2. But overall it was a strong, strong lap. And we're a second off the pace, just behind Charles Leclerc. Daniel Ricciardo P10 ultimately didn't really hook up a decent lap in Q3. But still, both of us in our first Q3, double Q3 for us this season in Ferrari. And we out-qualified Ricciardo, which is quite rare. And a very, very good qualifying. P6 for us, and splitting the Haas cars. It just goes to show that the Ferrari really improved here, and the upgrades paying major dividends. And in the words of Fernando Alonso, it seems like now we can fight. That's it for qualifying, guys. We're now going to move into the race for round 4 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Let's do this.
Good afternoon and welcome to Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. So let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With 20 turns and a length of 3.7 miles, Baku City Circuit in the heart of the Azerbaijan capital is a real test of a driver's endurance, patience and precision. 90-degree corners through Sector 1 lead into a tightening uphill sprint as we start to circle around the old city. Then a 1.4-mile chase flat out through Sector 3 towards the finish line. Anthony Davidson joins me today as we look ahead to something just a little bit different. It's quite high speed for a street circuit here, isn't it? Do you think that's going to throw up any unexpected situations?
Well, as long as the teams can keep everything cool, I don't foresee any particular big issues from a technical side of things. I do expect the track to be quite slippery though. We've not exactly had much chance to rubber in the surface. Any street circuit also comes with its own challenges, so I think we'll be seeing a few mistakes here and there. The smart strategy would be to expect a safety car, I think, especially early on when the pack is bunched up.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. It's Sergio Perez on pole position today, with Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Weber, Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, Martinez, Magnussen, Norris, Butler and Daniel Ricciardo, Gasly, Raikkonen, George Russell and Bottas, Sainz, Stroll, Max Verstappen and Alexander Albon, Giovinazzi and Daniel Kvyat completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
It's race time here at Baku, and we start from P6 on the grid. Very good qualifying, very happy with that one, and the car definitely improving with the upgrades, especially the last upgrades we put on for this race. The engine power really, really noticeable, and getting us, a lot of performance in Sector 3 along the massive straight, which is really, really good. And in terms of strategy of this race, it's going to be quite interesting. I'm going to try and commit to the original recommended strategy of soft tyre onto the hards and try and go for the one stop, because the one stop is the way to go around here. I'm going to try and pull this off. The longer I go on the first stint on the soft tyre, the easier the strategy will be. But the hard tyre pretty much lasts forever around here. It's just about watching your rear tyres, to be honest, and being careful with them overheating and also wearing out too much. In terms of fuel, we're going to run 1 lap extra. We're only going to use that pretty much on the pit straight to defend, because I think we should be pretty good on the straight, and I think I can defend and attack quite heavily on the straight. So I think we'll have a lot of opportunities to attack and defend in this race, and we're going to be competitive, which is good. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be our best chance of scoring some big points here today. I think realistically, I want to try and get a top 5 finish. I think that's doable, and we're going to try and play our strategy cards right. But yeah, guys, we're going to jump into it here for round 4 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Let's try and have a decent race and actually, do well on merit instead of using a strategy outside the top 10. So let's jump into it and let's get racing. Right, here we go. Let's try and get a good start here. So 5 red lights. Come on here at Baku, 5 lights are on, and they are off, and away we go. Not a bad start, to be fair, we'll take that. Down the inside at turn 1, I've got 3 wide, I think, but we're going to take the position. Bit of oversteer there on the exit as the car kicks out. Just going to try and sit in the middle of the road and try to defend my position. We've got Leclerc and also Red Bull side by side in front of us here, so let's try and stick with these guys. To be fair, we are pretty much in the best of the rest position. The fact we out-qualified a Haas was quite remarkable, but if we could stay in P6, I wouldn't complain. That'd be a good race for me. I'm saying P5 on the premises that I think strategy could play a part and also reliability could play a part, but if we finish P6, I wouldn't complain because every car in front of me is faster. So we'd also be beating Magnussen, which is a quicker car, so that for me would be a good result. Either way, it's a good start for us in this race, as we managed to get away with a bit of oversteer on the exit at turn 1, which was quite scary for a moment there on the cold tyres, but we're up and running now. And once we get through sectors 1 and 2, sector 3 is my strong point because it's the massive straight and that's where we're quickest, so that's where we'll hold our own. And I get to see what our speed is like compared to the AI, because based off of qualifying I'm very quick, but that could all change in the race. The AI could be a lot quicker on the straight, so we'll see how we hold up. For now though, it's looking good. I've got a whole battery to deploy, so that's also fantastic. And looks like at the minute we're not going to be particularly under pressure here as we go onto the straight for the first time. There's quite a gap behind Magnussen already starting to form, so that's going to help us in our race, because obviously we'll pull away from those behind us and we'll be matching pace with the big boys. So that's going to be really good for our strategy, as looks like Hamilton's making a move on Leclerc here for P4 in this case, as Magnussen's slowly catching me, but hardly gaining on the straight. To say he had a full slipstream all the way down the straight. Leclerc down to P5 now as the Red Bull rightfully takes its position in P4 as a quicker car. Let's see if we can try and keep Magnussen behind though. For now it's going to be quite easy. The real test will be when DRS comes available next lap, so let's get our head down and try and have a decent race here today. Okay, Magnussen's on the back of me here. He has better pace this lap. Looks like he's got a bit more race pace than me, so he's going to go to the outside. Now that he's pulled out the slipstream, I should be able to hang on and compete on the straight.
Race officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available.
Oh, I just hit the inside wall there. Luckily we didn't hit the side of Magnussen, but K-Mag goes by. Again, he's got more pace at this stage in the race. Ricardo's behind me, so if we can finish in these positions, that'd be great. We can get a double points finish. Ricardo hasn't scored since Australia, so it would be great if he could finish in 8th place this race. I'm going to be hot on the brakes here. I've got to be careful with that. We've got quarter and Q2 with that wall. Okay, so we're within range of Magnussen. I could go for the re-overtake, but you know what? I think I might chill, because he's got a better pace than me, and it'd be pointless overtaking him. I think we'd be losing time, so I'm just going to sit behind. I'm not even going to open DRS. I'm just going to use him as slipstream and a chance to save fuel in DRS, because
Fuel is looking really good. You're managing it well.
I think we could have a stronger race by following Magnussen. Remember, I need to try and keep these tyres as long as possible so that my race becomes easier. If I could stretch it to a set of mediums, that'd be fantastic, but I don't think that's going to happen. If I could do that, that'd be really, really good. But for now, we're just going to try and follow Magnussen here. And by default, we should hopefully pull away from Ricciardo behind and the cars that are following. Well, having said that, Ricciardo has made some progress in the last lap and is starting to pick up the pace a little bit.
Okay, just to advise you, we're expecting the tyre grip to start falling off noticeably around now, but this set should be okay for a while longer despite that.
Yeah, I think we should be okay. I've got good pace, very consistent on this tyre. I'm quite happy with it. I've understood how it works, and I'm managing the tyre wear quite nicely. There is a battle going on for second place, but we're just too far back to even think about competing with those guys. I'm just trying to hang on with Magnussen, and that would help us out in the long run because we'd pull away from the cars behind us. As I say that, we have a big bit of oversteer there. We've got to be careful with the rear tyres. But we hang in there, we're doing okay. Just got to try and follow the Haas as best as I can. If I could go a little bit longer on these, that'd be great. Right, so I'm going to pit in. I can't really go any longer than this. My right rear is on 64%. Also, Magnussen, I want to stick with him, and he was just trying to pull away from me on that lap. So for me, in terms of strategy, I want to stick with him. So we're going to pit in, go for the safe undercut, and stay within close proximity of the Haas.
Go, go, go.
Fantastic stop from the boys there, 1.9, and straight away again. Let's see how the traffic situation pans out. We could get lucky. There's a nice space on track here. We could re-jump behind the racing points. So we're currently...
Stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't worry, mate. I've got both of the racing points in front of me battling away here. Hopefully I'll catch them by the end of the lap, and we can try and make a move on them. So let's get after them.
Daniel's in the pits.
Here we go. We're gaining on the racing points here. Overtake mode engaged along with some rich mix. We're going to switch to the inside. Try and get past the pair of them. And the inside of Bottas. We're going to put the squeeze on. There's Sebastian Vettel. He's going to be on the inside. We're going to get squeezed into the wall there. So Sebastian's lost time. Quite a lot of time now. I'm not sure what's happened to him. I think that's Magnussen in front. So Magnussen stays in front. Sebastian Vettel's been held up a treat. So this got interesting quite quickly, but we've managed to rejoin. They're actually on medium, so it's Seb on the two-stopper, because that's a long way to go on mediums to the end of the race. So Sebastian on a potential two-stop strategy here. We'll see what tyres Magnussen's on once Sebastian gets past him. Seb trying to go for the move on Magnussen there. Very odd place to go for an overtake. They're both going to lose time as a consequence. Magnussen's on hard tyres, I can see that quite clearly with the sunlight. Now, do I go for the double overtake again, or is Sebastian too quick? He's surely on a two-stop. You can't get mediums to the end. Oh, that was close. Sebastian almost hitting the wall there. We're going to go to the right-hand side here. We're going to get past the pair of them. We're going to take it and try and make the move up to P8. This is going to be a very easy overtake for Sebastian Vettel here. I'm not even going to fight it because he's in a quicker car on quicker tyres. It's going to be inevitable. He hasn't even got DRS yet, but here he comes. I'm going to force him to the outside though, because their AI behave better. They take better lines on the outside. So there you go, Sebastian makes the move. And we're just going to slot in behind. Crucially though, stay in front of Magnussen, so we've managed to get back in front of him now. Let's try and follow Sebastian for as long as we can. We've got Sainz just up the road, so he could become a potential way to get some more DRS this lap. Sainz and Vettel side by side here. Somehow, I don't think Sebastian hit the wall, even though he went around the outside there, which isn't a normal overtaking opportunity. Let's see if we can turn the engine up here and try and get within Sainz's DRS. Try and nick it, and stay in front of Magnussen that way quite easily. I seem to have good pace down this hard tyre. We're able to keep in front of the Haas quite easily. And there we go, we have got DRS from Carlos, which is good. Still P9 in this race though, waiting for those mediums in front of us to come in and do their one and only stop, as we set a personal best. Sainz actually re-challenging Sebastian Vettel, surprisingly, to turn one there. But no chance of him getting through. Okay, pressure building now on Carlos Sainz as we actually start to pull away from Magnussen a little bit. Let's try and get past the McLaren if we can. And we'll pick up DRS, get the perfect toe. I think we're at the right distance to time this beautifully. Personal best middle sector, that's what we like to see. A little bit of oversteer there, but that's okay. Perfect range for a slipstream. We're going to gain all the way up until the DRS line, which is what you want. We're not going to have to turn the engine up here because we're already perfectly placed. Here we go. As we gain on the McLaren, we're going to go to the outside in case Sainz pits in. And now we open DRS, and there we go. We power past. I believe Sainz is going to pit in. And we've got George Russell in the pit lane as well. Job done. Up to P7 then. Making more progress. That's what I'm talking about as we pretty much approach half race distance. Okay, now Kimi Raikkonen pits in as Magnussen is gaining on me with DRS, but he's not close enough into turn one to challenge me. So we're now back up to P6, back where we was before the pit stops. If I could finish here again, that'd be fantastic. If I keep Magnussen at bay for the rest of the race, that would be incredible. We're going to have to turn the engine up here. Magnussen is going to get a bit of a run on me here. Will he go for it? Not quite. I was hoping he wouldn't, and he didn't. So we hang on for now, but it's going to be 13 laps of constant pressure from Magnussen, I think. So we're going to have to hold on and try and be strong. I'm still banking on Sebastian Vettel to stop it, which would give us P5 in this race.
Right, some information on Hamilton. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow.
Okay, that could be interesting. Like I said before at the start of the race, I'm banking on some reliability issues. That could be it. Magnussen's a bit further back this time. Hamilton's relatively close enough to the point where he could drop back into us. Very consistent lap times, matching my personal best every single lap. This is good.
Okay, tyres still looking good, Nick. Let's keep them that way for as long as we can.
They feel pretty good. Still lapping that consistent pace. And the car's working great. I feel confident bringing this result home, I really do. I just got to keep managing things nicely and drive consistently, like I have been doing. Magnussen is a constant threat, but we're able to keep him behind. And also we're now well within to the last 10 laps of the race. So we are getting there, just got to keep hanging in there and making no mistakes, driving beautifully as I have been all weekend. Okay, Magnussen's pretty close here, he's seemingly turned the engine up this time. He's going to come at me quite quick, he hasn't got the RS yet, now he's got it, we're going to defend the inside, turn it up to overtake. Can we hang in there down towards turn 1? No we can't, and Sebastian Vettel pits in on the 2-stopper, Magnussen makes the move. So, Kevin showing his cards and playing his cards very early on. I think I've got pace to hang on and follow him, so we're going to try and do that. I might get a chance later on, so we're going to hang in there. I think I can re-overtake him, I really do. I need to produce this re-overtake straight away because Sebastian Vettel on soft tyres is right behind us, and I want Magnussen to feel the pressure from Sebastian first. So here we go, we're going to go for the quick, swift re-overtake on the Haas. No need for rich mix, we'll be okay with just ERS alone. To the inside we go, very easy move. And Hamilton's the next one up the road. Of course, he's still got car trouble as we set a personal best. It's 1 minute 39s. Having to step it up now because Sebastian's putting the pressure on. Poor exit from me there. But we'll be okay into turn 2.
They're speeding up again, so I expect they fixed whatever the problem was.
Okay, so that's for Lewis Hamilton. So his car is working again. A shame because I was starting to line up for a move. I could see him on the distance. Meanwhile, we've actually cleared Magnussen. We're over a second clear. So Sebastian Vettel now starting to put the pressure on here. We're on for a personal best, but we're not going to beat it because our final sector last time was so strong. But here we go into the last 5 laps of the race. Pressure's on. Seb put me under serious pressure here. Trying to step it up. I think we might have cleared Magnussen though. He won't have DRS on Vettel, which is good news for me. So even though Sebastian makes the move, we're not going to be under pressure. I'm not going to fight this. I'm going to use Vettel to try and pull away from Magnussen even more. So Seb makes the move. I'm going to turn the engine down here and try and get a nice tow. Using to save a little bit of fuel in the RS as we set a personal best, not quite. Let's try and follow the Renault here. 2.1 gap to Magnussen. We can use that. Sebastian set the pace, 37.2. We match our personal best once again. And Lewis, and also I believe that's a lap car possibly just up the road. Not too far. Maybe Lewis and Vettel could get in a late scrap for P4. Very easy to keep Magnussen behind him. My pace is good. Very good pace. The fuel's burnt off. The car feels pretty nimble. 3-car battle in front of us. Sebastian Vettel, Lewis Hamilton and Charles Leclerc all just up the road. Battling for that podium position, I believe. At the minute we're keeping Magnussen at that 2-second barrier. And it's working okay. Even Ricciardo's having a good race though.
Some information on Butler. They've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring.
Devon retires from the race. First retirement in the Mercedes. But yeah, Ricciardo's just a couple of corners behind. He's having a good race as well. It just goes to show it's not just me. The car's very quick around here. It's worked fantastically well all weekend. And the upgrades have been on point. And it's really shown. Okay, so Sergio Perez wins here at Baku. And we're going to come through. Magnussen trying to put the pressure on at the end here. But we should be okay. We're too far ahead. He's going to go for a last chance attempt. But we've got too much ERS to compete. So there we go. Job done. Good race here today. P6. Very happy with that one. We start where we finish. Oh, sorry. We finish where we start. That makes more sense. And yeah, very happy. The car was great. Ricciardo P8 as well. Good double points finish. Grazie ragazzi. Forza Ferrari. Grande lavoro. Grazie.
Nice work. You did well today. A think the boss will be happy with that one.
Renault certainly didn't hold back today. A well-deserved victory. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, I know it's a bit of a boring answer, but the truth is they simply had the best speed package on the day, and a driver who knows how to take advantage of that. It doesn't matter how much time you spend poring over the stats and planning strategies if you can't keep the pace, and our winner today showed they could do both.
Once again, it's podium time, and once again, it's a clear win for Renault. Renault have seen their fair share of success in Formula One, and today is proof that they've still got what it takes to thrill us all. Congratulations to everyone on the team.
Right, so here we have the final race results. So Sergio Perez wins for Renault here today, and Renault's actually first win of the season, surprisingly. You know, we've had a lot of troublesome times with Renault because they are the quicker car. They are much faster than Red Bull, but because of the Q3 qualifying glitch, where we've missed out on Q3, it means the grid, when the AI cars qualify, Renault normally qualify 9th and 10th because I'm not taking part in Q3, and Red Bull qualify 3rd and 4th, more or less. So Red Bull get that head start, and they kind of hold on to that for the whole race, but today that wasn't the case. Obviously, we got Q3 in qualifying, therefore we got to see the true pace of the Renault, and you can see their true pace. Sebastian Vettel bringing the fastest lap of the race home, a 36.7, literally night and day quicker than everybody else, and we only just got into the 139, so again, we had okay pace, not a fantastic pace, but we've done the job, and the Ferrari was good enough to hold on. We was able to keep Magnussen behind us, and Ricciardo scoring points as well, which was absolutely fantastic for us as a team, and overall no complaints. We outscore all the competitors around us, Williams, McLaren, Racing Point and Mercedes, and Devon Butler at the bottom, the only retirement of the Grand Prix. But in terms of what the race is going to mean for the standings, in the Drivers' Championship we're still P5, and we've got 13 points over Charles Leclerc, so we're still hanging in there. Daniel Ricciardo jumps up to P11 and he's doubled his points tally from 4 to 8, so that's good news, and he's only 1 point behind George Russell and 2 points behind Gasly. So if Ricciardo can get another good result like that, then hopefully he'll start to jump into the top 10. In terms of the constructors, we're still 3rd place, 8 points ahead of Haas. That gap is coming down very quickly, bit by bit, and we need to try and respond. Therefore, we're going to put some more upgrades in the car going into the next race at Spain. So let's jump into the laptop and let's try and improve this Ferrari car.
We all underestimated you, didn't we? You left some bodywork out there on the track. Were you struggling for grip? Well, thanks anyway.
Okay, so we've just agreed a new contract and an improved one with 10th place for qualifying and race goal, along with first driver and hard goals, and we've also got level 3 and all the bonuses, and we're still a little bit short of the valuation. Now, after that race, we actually hit our team goal, which was 12 points in the championship, so we get an extra 600 points to spend. Therefore, we're going to have more points than actually expected going into this upgrade. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple of them. So the first one we're going to do is probably going to be this one here. I'm going to check this ultimate one to see how much it costs, and it's a little bit too much, so we're going to go for a major chassis one, and that will arrive from Monaco, and we're going to add to that by doing the failed upgrade that we should have had in this episode for the front wing. So for Spain, we'll have at least one small upgrade on the car, and we've already got a major one in the works for the Monaco Grand Prix, and hopefully we can add some more in the next episode. So basically for Monaco, we should have a very strong upgrade package. You can see on the R&D graph, we should hopefully overtake McLaren very soon with this upgrade package. It might not be in the next race, but it will definitely be at Monaco, especially with what we've got in the pipeline. But guys, that's going to be it for this video, and if you did enjoy it, then drop a like on the video, and hopefully you're excited for the future like I am, because I think we're going to really push forward with development and really make a big push towards the front. And that was a really encouraging result this weekend with both myself and Ricciardo scoring some big points and getting some good pace all weekend long. So guys, drop a like, subscribe if you are new for daily Formula 1 content, and also check out these 2 videos on your screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video very soon, but until then, it's goodbye from me.